After becoming a believer in 2008, I did not get baptized until 4 years later in 2012. And even then, after baptism, I was still living in sin because I did not have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And also, I did not know him personally. I didn't know who he was. From the scriptures, I read Jesus had many names. He was called the Son of Man, the Son of God, the Prince of Peace. But those are just names. I didn't understand who Jesus was. And nobody I knew around me could tell me. I tried to seek the answer in the Bible, but I just couldn't find a clear, definitive answer that tells me who Jesus was. And many people say Jesus is God, but in the scriptures, you cannot find the evidence. The closest I can think of that from the scriptures was in John chapter 8, when Jesus said to the Pharisees that before Abraham, I am. And the word he used, I am, was the name that Jehovah God used to describe himself. That means the creator of time, space, and matter, that the being that always is, that exists outside of time and space. But throughout the scriptures, there's not a single place where Jesus proclaimed definitively that I am God. He never did that. You can only infer that from the things he say. So I was confused. And it wasn't until 2015 that God led me to the testimonies on YouTube from a brother. His name is Justice Boshoff, and his ministry on YouTube is called Final Call 07. This brother passed away 2 years ago, right before the start of the pandemic. And this brother, he had a living, vibrant, strong relationship with the living God. And he was the first person I've met who truly knows God and who truly listens to him and obeys him. Have this living, vibrant relationship with the living God. And one of his messages was that we need to have a personal relationship with this living God, that Jesus is alive, and you need to seek an experience with him, an encounter with him. And there's only one way to do that, to get to know God personally, is to have the desire of knowing him. If you truly want to know God, you will know him because he will reveal himself to you. So since then, since 2015, I began to seek God, to seek an encounter with him, an experience with him. And for the next year and a half, I was fruitless. I did not have the experience because I knew from all the experiences, all the testimonies people gave, once God touches you, you will change. You will know that this is God. And I never had that experience. Despite repented of my sin, being baptized, and become a believer in the atonement of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, I never knew him for real. Then one morning in June of 2016, Jesus revealed himself to me. I had this encounter. And I knew this is the living God of the universe. Because when he touched my heart burst open with incredible emotion that I ended up crying for the next hour alone in my car. And Jesus revealed to me many things. But one of the most important things he revealed to me in that encounter was the identity of him. And that he is God. And the way he revealed to me was very different and unique from any other experience that I've ever heard. When I was in this experience, I received the revelation that he truly died for me, personally, for me. And that realization overwhelmed me, made me think, oh my God, this is the creator of the universe, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. And he sacrificed his life for me, a nobody. Imagine the most powerful leaders of the world, President Biden, President Xi Jinping, Putin. These are kings of our world. They will not do anything for a person like me. But imagine their king, the King of Kings. He loves me so much that he is willing to die to save me. And that this realization just consumes me, and I began to cry my eyes out. And I was just thanking him. I said, God, why did you do this? And his answer to me at that time was, because I love you. And another question came to my mind. So I asked him, I said, I can understand you sacrifice yourself for the apostles, for the Peters, the Pauls, the Jameses, the saints of the church, these great men, these men of holiness. But why do you sacrifice for someone like me? Someone so far from these saints. And his answer to me was that, do you think that in my eyes, these apostles, these people you mentioned, they are any holier than you? And that's the moment I realized that Jesus is God. Because in our physical world, everything's relative. Someone is better than me, someone is richer than me, someone is cleaner than me, holier than me. But since Jesus is perfect, so anything measured against perfection is imperfect. Yes, the Francis, the Paul, the John, they are much better human beings than me, much more holy than me. But they're still imperfect. And that's why in the eyes of someone who is perfect, they're as dirty as me. An example is that Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. In his eyes, you and I, we have the same amount of money, because he has so much money that whether I have $1,000 and you have $1 million, to him, it's almost the same. And to someone who has infinite amount of money, Elon Musk, you and me, we have the same amount of money. We're same as poor. And that's why I realize in Jesus' eyes, we're all sinners. It doesn't matter how holy we think we are. We're the same. Because he's perfect, we're imperfect. And that gap is as wide as infinity itself. And that's when I realized he is completely different from every human being ever existed. And what's alive, what's a intelligent life that's complete from every other life in this universe? That's God. And that's when I realized that Jesus is God. And this explanation, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to another person, but that's the answer that satisfied me. From that moment on, I realized Jesus Christ indeed is God. He is different from any human being on this planet Earth. And I just want to share another bit of this encounter. At that time, I was very emotional. I was asking him, but why, Lord? Why did you sacrifice yourself to me? And he said, because I love you. And I said, but why me? I don't deserve your love. I'm dirty. I'm sinful. I accept you as my Lord and Savior, and yet I still sin at that time. But why did you love me so much? And he answered, because I am love. And that's the message I want you all to have, is that Jesus Christ is love itself, is source of life. And it doesn't matter how sinful you think you are, how imperfect you are. If you go to him, he will pull you in with his love, and he will fill you up with his love, because he is the source of love, of life, and of truth. May Jesus be with you.